Welcome back. Hey, I'm going to go over the two types of lists that were assigned on my 100 most people, right? And so the 100-person list is, we do it a lot, and I teach this in three different parts, right? So I'll teach it to you as small business owners, I'll teach it to you as an individual, right? Just a person in your life. And then I'll talk to you about it as a creative. So I'm going to put them all into one video so that we can all watch. So, because there's a lot of interplay between them. Here's the assignment, right? You're going to start a list of the 100 people in your life. And these are the people that align with you. These are your people. These are your people. And when we start to make that list, some of you will really stall out after five, but most people are going to stall out at around 35. And if you have 100, you are amazing. And I always remind people that old school conversation of Jim Rohn, right? Jim Rohn is like, hey, you are the combination of the five people you hang out with the most. Okay, well, we should look at the five people you hang out with the most because some of us are, our five people are like little tiny people. And some of them are just our family, right? And some of them are this other thing. So when we think about the five people, I do need you to expand that to virtually because many of you are having virtual relationships with people on mindset, on coaching, on ideas, on satire, on a lot of things. And so when you think about the five people you spend the most time with, don't always think of physical people because in this day, a lot of people are spending time with virtual relationships like this one, right? That you're here online with me. So think about the five people you spend the most time with. And then why are we doing this list? Well, you're going to do this list because it's going to give you some tools. And it's going to give you some tools over how you form your opinions in on all things. It's going to also give you a way for you yourself to be more influencing. So when you look at who is influencing you, the next step is to say, and who are you influencing? And that's not to say you need to be an influencer, as in the social media term. It is to say that you are influencing every day, every part of your life, all the people that you're hanging around with, right? And that's why we want to focus on that one dot, right? Of wit, prosperity is the ability to magnify. And we are prosperous. So we are going to constantly magnify from a point within us. But we have to define that point. The goal of coming to prosperity mindset and hanging out with me is to understand what makes you prosperous, right? It is to understand that all of your actions are going to come out of this one space called you. And is that clear? Is that what you want to keep magnifying? Some people still have a lot of garbage in their dot. So they're magnifying out of anger or fear or frustration. Well, great. You don't need more of that. You already have enough of it. So really focus on putting things into that dot of yourself is all the things that make you great. And that's why we take so much action in prosperity mindset is you've got to do the work. You've all met people who didn't do the work and it's noticeable because they're still tripping. They're not able to come to things on time. They're always behind. There's always drama, 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 drama. And it's always chaos. So if someone's in chaos intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, they're only going to magnify out chaos. So we are trying to build strength and every step of the way to go, who are the 100 people that are influencing me and what I am doing, that I'm spending time with? For some of you, that may be your religious aspect of your life are the five people that you're hanging out. So put that on, right? But I'm really first going to have you work through the actual humans and things that are supporting you. Because remember, we are looking for those people who also help us with our agency, the people that we are sharing our life with. And remember, sometimes sharing is that those are people that get a portion of your time. Those are people that get a plate full of understanding. Those are people that are going to be really helpful to you. So if you're thinking about that in your business, then think about those as the action people that are there to help you actively approach your business differently. So that might be that when you're doing your list of 100 or 50 or whatever you're going to do, we're going to really put that list together. Who is on that list? And when you're thinking about that from a business perspective, that might be vendors, that might be other resources, that might be community, that might be a lot of things. Your employees, um, other business owners. If you're doing it for yourself creatively, um, then what you want to put on that list is you want to put in the things that are creatively influencing you and really paying attention to what they're saying, spending your time. Who are you spending your time? Who is influencing you? And that top 100 list for me was powerful because I started to get stalled out and I had to go, well, who else is influencing me? And remember, when we understand who is influencing you and who shouldn't be, who needs to have a little space away, right? They need a little more space. And who is really close, who is whispering in your ear, what is in the backdrop, right? What's whispering back here where I can't see it? It's really helpful to define those conversations and to define those conversations for yourself. So when you look at someone who is an influencer, that is someone who kind of brings everything together of all of their thoughts, all of their learning, all of their experiences. They've pulled them together, they've thought about it, they've actually used facts to kind of put things through, and they're going to do all of that work before they state an opinion. So when you are an influencer, you're someone who's actually thought about it. You versus somebody who's just um, it has no thought. They're just spewing, right? Which is a lot of people are just spewing. When you think about someone who has influence on you, it's somebody that has had a lot of thought in what they're giving to you, or that you have a lot of thought around it, around what they have modeled to you or showcased to you. But for you, it's also you're going to influence other people in the world. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, you have to decide the facts. You have to really know that. The other thing is a great influencers is influencers are ready to change. They're open to change. Their mind is open. That if you give them more information, that they will actually use that information for the betterment of the conversation. As an influencer, you yourself have to believe in what you know. You have to be able to believe in your own language and words and what your truth is. So you have to know that. An influencer of someone is someone who can also inspire a conversation. Sometimes just thoughtful words, gently pushed across the table, can really gently guide a conversation. It can also help you leverage networks. Generosity is one of the things that happens in influence, that many times we are influenced by someone else's generosity in our life, in helping us get equipped or moving forward. Is the generosity. It takes generosity of somebody to use their free time to just be right here. So sometimes it is that you are going to inspire conversation, that you're going to leverage your networks. But what you also have is in influence is someone that is willing to disagree with you in a thoughtful, kindful way. So whether that's you disagreeing with someone else to go, wow, I really don't see it that way. It's not jumping down their throat. It's not tiptoeing. It's not coming in like a hurricane. It's really going, wow, I don't, that's not my, that's not the way that I see that. That's not the leadership base I put on in that problem solving. So it's really focusing in on what are the conversations you want to have. So in this idea of who's influencing you, I would really think about people that you can disagree with, but I would also think about people that you um, are welcoming a chance to disagree with because it's safe for you to disagree. That's not an anger parade. But it's also that you are proactive, that you are serving, that you are bringing energy into that. In those relationships, what are you bringing? Are you responding to life or are you reacting to life? And we are coming from a way to say we are going to respond in a way, and that that's different than just reacting, because we can react and go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I have to do that a lot because I work in community. So as a community leader, there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things that inspire me, but there's lots and lots of problems. And I have to really carefully think about how I respond versus just how I react. Because sometimes horrible things happen. And of course, I have a response. So of course, I have a reaction. I have a reaction first. And sometimes my first reaction is really powerful. And sometimes my first reaction is based on all of these 100 people that have influenced me. So sometimes my reaction is really private. And so a lot of times, if you're seeing me in, so example, when we are in really difficult conversations, when you see me in the boardrooms, when you see me in mediation things, when you see me, you'll see me look very calm and have no reaction. That I'm going to just listen very carefully and give no body language either way. And then I'm going to assess what requires a response or not. And I will thoughtfully start to kind of just figure out what my response is. So when you are someone who is sharing in the world with the people that influence you, think about your response, not just your reaction and your contribution. And I think when I look at response in general, it is your contribution, because if I can thoughtfully respond with from my point, right, from my prosperity point, when I can come forward as, what am I magnifying from? I'm magnifying from someone who is loving and thoughtful and gracious and honors the other person's perspective. If I can come from that position all of the time, I'm going to respond very differently than maybe I'm reacting that with outrage and anger. So if I can come forward to go, hey, here is this person's journey. What is the contribution that I can bring with a thoughtful response? And how would I execute that thoughtful response in the most loving way? For me, sometimes the most thoughtful response I can do is to hug somebody. And it's surprising how many people don't get a hug. That's the way it is. So to kind of tidy this up, the conversation is the same for you in all three of those categories, whether you're doing this personal work, whether you're doing it for your business, whether you're doing it creatively. That top 100 list is there. If you're freaked out about the 100, put it to 50. What is very interesting is I called everyone. So I made the list for I've done this actually on multiple aspects of my life. Where I had to do it the last time was for creatively. Who are my creative counterparts? Who do I count on to help me be creative? And what am I doing in there? And what is very interesting is I had to be very proactive. And I had to also go, hey, just wanted you to know I made this list and you were in my top 10. I just thought you would know that you're like the top 10 people that I count on for creativity. And thank you so much for doing that. And what happened out of that conversation was that now we could just talk about that. Wow, thank you so much for noticing that, or what's nice. But it also is a way for me to show that I believe in what they're offering, that they are positively influencing me. And please keep influencing me, because sometimes we feel awkward loving people openly and we don't know what to do with that. It's just a weird thing. So that for me, it was also just giving people that opportunity to go, if you can keep inspiring me, I can use it every day. It would be great. So building a little bit of headroom for people to put in more openly, or to invite people to the things that you want. So enjoy your list. I end up going back to it a couple of times. You will too. The part that you want to be really thoughtful on, again, is we are looking for the people to be on that list that have your highest value, that have your highest good there. When you first write that list, a lot of times people put everyone, my neighbor, my dog sitter, my this, that. Yeah, those might be the top 100 people in your life. But we're going to also go back and go, but are these the people that influence the way that you define the world, right? This is people, there's a lot of people that dominate your attention, but they may not really be bringing in that other active approach energy of helping you grow. And we are in prosperity mindset. So we want to be able to magnify. And the people around you are that light. They are the tools to help you magnify, right? They are the flower petals on this. So it makes it real big and delicious. So thank you so much for spending time with me. I will see you virtually soon. Please put a comment in the section if you have it. If you don't subscribe, please do. If you're already subscribed, thank you. And we'll put another video up here for you. Have a great day.